I think we're live. Hopefully, it's on this microphone. But today, I'm going to be giving a little bit of a spiel because my life is a little bit chaotic right now, and I'm not going to be able to get a video out until probably late this week because it was finals and all this. So I'm just deciding, let me just do a live stream and talk about some shit that I've been going through. So before I answer any questions, I'm just going to go straight into what I'm going to be talking about today, and that is infatuation. Now, I've dealt with a lot of infatuation in my life, feeling like you are consumed by someone. And I think it's also because I'm very codependent, and I've gotten out of that codependency, but now it's turned into that hyper independence. You get what I mean? I feel like a lot of codependents automatically go from like getting fucked up in a relationship or some type of situation, and then all of a sudden they just go into this hyper independence where they don't want to get vulnerable with people, and that's where I'm at right now. So we're just going to be talking about it. Let me know if you guys like this scene. I decided to do a little bit of an outdoors thing. Let me know if if the Wi-Fi gets really weird, because I'm still connected to the Wi-Fi, I believe, but I might just connect to my data. I got some kombucha here, so first thing I'm going to talk about. Gotta touch grass every day, exactly. So the first thing I really want to talk about in terms of infatuation is having this idealized sense of who someone is. Like, you cannot see someone clearly. Oh, hello, spider. There's a spider on me. It's a mini one, though, so I'm not scared of it. Goodbye. Goodbye, friend. Okay. But yeah, you kind of like engulf yourself in their life, and you're kind of swept up in their storm. And this feeling is so familiar because it's the way we want to feel about ourselves. They give you something that you feel you cannot give yourself, a feeling that you cannot fulfill within yourself, often about your self-concept. This usually has to do with, I'm a lovable person. I'm an exciting person. Maybe this person is really, really, what's the word? Dangerous, right? Not like dangerous in the sense of their personality, but maybe they just make really, really bad decisions. Something I've noticed in my life, I'm a very, very safe person, so often who I attract is someone who is very, very impulsive and will make very, very rash decisions on the spot, because that's not something I do, and it makes me feel excited to be swept up in that storm. And when we get swept up in other people, it's because we're seeking out a part of ourselves that we feel we lack. At least that's what I've noticed in my life. So let me know in the comments if you guys relate to this. I'm going to be going and checking out your guys' comments real fast, but I can't see too much, but let's see. Hey y'all. I'm so glad you guys are coming to this stream. It's so good. But yeah. The people whom we've created a whole universe around are narcissists. I don't necessarily think so. I don't think like every single person we infatuate over is solely a narcissist, because I don't think that's how human nature works. Are there narcissists that we can get obsessed over? Yes. And does codependency attract narcissists? Yeah. Like, oftentimes, if you're codependent and you do tend to get swept up in other people's storms, you will attract the type of person who needs that attention, who needs someone to constantly be infatuated over them. But also, I think a part of our human nature is enjoying the unknown. And so when someone is new to us, when someone is different, when someone has something about them that even makes us want to fix them in some way, we feel like we have a purpose in some weird way, shape, or form. We feel like it is our job, and not necessarily even our job, but we just want to go in and either save this person or be engulfed with this person, combine with this person, whatever the case is. We become obsessed with a person because we like how they make us feel at the end of the day. Even if that feeling is not a good feeling, in some weird way, shape, or form, it's a familiar feeling. So oftentimes it's not like we really, really like how they make us feel, because after a while, usually in these type of dynamics, one person starts becoming very, very detached and the other person starts becoming very, very anxious. And so what I'm noticing in my own life, I'm more of the detached person now, but I also used to be the anxious person. I used to be always up on someone. I also used to always feel like I needed to fix someone in some way, shape, or form, because that gave me a sense of security and validation within myself that I was worthy, and that even though me sacrificing myself for this person was detrimental for me, it was like addicting in the sense, because it validated that, okay, at least I don't find myself worthy, but this person somehow, some way, sometimes finds me worthy. Bro, this little spider keeps wanting to come on my hand. Like, bro, I don't know if y'all see him, but he came on my hand again. How did you get here? How'd you get here, bro? Here, go on the ground, please. Anyway, but yeah, like, we just get attached to that. And so, let's see, what to do when someone disrespects you badly. A friend of mine threw water all over me. What am I supposed to do now? So, if is a friend in the room right now? Or, like, did this situation already happen? Because if someone threw water on me, I don't care what, like, I'm screaming at them most likely. I mean, depending. Honestly, it depends. If it's just water, it depends on the context. I'm not really a fighter. I could sit here and lie and be like, oh my God, I'd punch them. But, like, let me be real. I'm honestly scary. I'm scary. I've never been in a fight with anyone except for my sister. But yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the type of person to fight someone. If someone threw water on my face, I would probably just, like, leave. Like, I'd probably just be like, no, that was very disrespectful. Like, I'm leaving. I just make it very awkward for them. So, but isn't it so disrespectful? I do believe it's disrespectful, but also the context behind it. If they threw water on your face, like, were they throwing water in your face when you were, like, awake or something? Or was it because, like, you were passed out and, like, they needed to wake you up or so? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, you wake up hungover or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Context matters a lot, but yeah, it is. But at least it was just water. If it was anything other than water, that's actually really messed up. But you know what I mean? Like, if they threw water on your face, I think that probably just sounds like they don't like you and that the friendship is already over. So I'd just distance myself. That's just what I would do. But I also think context very much so matters. Maybe send them a text being like, hey, I don't like what you did. I think it was really messed up. I'm not on good terms with you. Like, but yeah, like, I don't know. Like, if you feel like someone does something very disrespectful to you, I think the best way to handle it, for me, I would just remove my energy and just go where I am respected. That's just me, though. But anyways, back to the topic. We're talking about infatuation. So one way I've noticed to get over infatuation, or one way I've noticed that helps me to get over infatuation, is practicing detachment, but not in the traditional way of just not caring. I think a lot of people assume that detachment is just, I don't care. Also, I'm sorry if you guys hear that buzzing noise in the background. It sometimes turns on and turns off. I don't know. There's like a shopping center behind my house, so it's like, ugh. But to be honest, y'all don't care. This is a live stream. We are all friends here, so it's like we're sitting in my backyard talking shit. So anyways, so practicing detachment in the sense of, number one, you are worthy. And number two, it's okay to want what you want. I think a lot of times we feel restless when we want something or are super attached and infatuated with someone because in some weird way, shape, or form, we're relying on that thing to give us a sense of validation, and we're denying ourselves wanting it. Like, we're trying to resist the fact that we want something. And resisting is just going to create more of that feeling. Being able to look at it and go, you know what? I do really like this person, and, you know, shit, like, whatever. I'm infatuated with this person, whatever it is, right? Being able to have that outlook and then simultaneously learning how to detach from the outcome of it are two completely separate things. Detachment is not just not giving a fuck. And I think that's the biggest point of this live stream, is to realize that detaching from something is not just learning how to not give a fuck or not care about someone, because at the end of the day, we care for what we care for almost involuntarily. Like, we don't choose the things we care for. I don't think we choose who we love or who we don't love, and all the people who come into our life. I don't think we choose those things. I think those things come to us, and sometimes they're so unexpected, and sometimes we get so attached to an idea of what we want our lives to be that we don't necessarily see the reality for who someone is. So there's a duality of, you can care while still being detached. And I don't think a lot of people talk about that. You can still care, and you can still feel happy when this person texts you, or happy when you go see this person, or happy that a situation is unfolding without having them be the center of your entire life. And that's the difference. And how you do that is by recognizing that detachment is not caring. It is an abundance of care for yourself and a trust in yourself and the universe that even if this thing falls through and you don't get what you want, you're still getting what you want at the end of the day. Because in the absence of what you thought you wanted, you will find exactly what you want. Everything happens for a reason. And sometimes you really do have to trust that this infatuation is really just pointing out something within you that you need to amplify within yourself. Sometimes we get so obsessed with someone and what they're doing and how their life is and their essence that we forget how damn special our own essence is. Your essence is so goddamn special, and I hate how you just sit here and not acknowledge that. Like, bestie, people feel the same way about you too, babe. People feel the same way about you. So let me see some of the comments, because you know how it is on iPhone, because I'm on my iPhone. So let's see. Girl, save the live. I want to watch it later. This is one of the lives I'm going to end up saving on my channel. I'm going to start doing live streams on my channel where I save them and talk about a certain topic, because weeks like this, like, it was finals week and I was just, oh my gosh, I didn't have time to do the things I needed to do. So I'm sorry that this week's video is going to be a little bit late. I'm just going to have to get back on track because the semester just ended, and I'm going to be able to push out more content for you guys. So how to come back to ourselves, because when you lose yourself to someone, you want to come back to yourself. So the thing is, the misconception you have is that you lost yourself. You didn't lose yourself. You're just ignoring yourself. Okay? You did not lose yourself. You're still there. It's just you're in the same room with yourself and you are completely ignoring yourself. As soon as, like, imagine you're in a room and this person keeps trying to come up to you and talk to you, but every single time they start walking your way, you turn the other way and walk somewhere else. That's what you're doing to yourself as you're chasing someone who's doing the same thing to you. It's just a game where someone, like, everyone's ignoring each other, but you are ignoring yourself in the process. There's a conversation that can happen where both yourself, you know, in this hypothetical situation, right? Yourself is added where this person is. There's a reality where this person can coexist with your true essence. You don't need to put someone on a pedestal. So yes, figuratively you lose yourself, but do you really lose yourself? No, you're still always there. You're never alone with yourself. You just ignore yourself. So the question isn't how do you find yourself again? It's how do I stop ignoring myself? And I think you already know how to do that. Intuitively, you already know how to stop ignoring yourself. That voice in your head that you always push down and don't think about, and those things you need to journal about. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you need to start, like, thinking of. You get what I mean? Instead, you're so obsessed with how someone is going to feel towards you and trying to convince someone your value that you are forgetting that you yourself need to also recognize your value by stop ignoring yourself. Like, obviously, you're going to feel some type of way about yourself when every single time the inner you wants to come out, you suppress it and you ignore it. And sometimes we even do that in the sense of like other people. And oftentimes that is what we do, actually. Hello. Like sometimes, hello, girl. Yes, that's what you do. That's what you're probably doing. You're ignoring yourself because you feel like someone else is more exciting or, you know, interesting or whatever. But you are equally as interesting and cool and badass. Genuinely. So, how to stop doing that is to start having a conversation with your inner self. And also sometimes this person or this thing you want is at the cost of yourself. In this world, hopefully you guys can still hear me when I do this. In this world, you have two things, right? You have the connection with yourself and you have the connection with this person. Sometimes the people that you're chasing in your life feel like you cannot coexist with you and your true self. So you suppress your true self because in some weird way, shape, or form, you believe that this connection and this person is going to give you everything you think you need. But that's not true. That's not true. That's just an illusion. And that's just this person almost playing into your own insecurity within yourself, right? They're playing into that because they want more control over you. This is the person that you don't actually want. This person, you're trying to seek the love you want for yourself within the other person. The love that you so crave them giving to you is the love that you need to start giving back to yourself. You ignoring yourself is not making you love the other person. It's just this infatuation that you're with, like you have towards the other person. That's making you think that it's love. It's not actually love. A person who loves you is not going to tell you to neglect yourself in order to be in their life. They're not. In fact, they're going to be very turned off by you dropping yourself and your own connections and everything you're doing in life in order to just throw yourself into them. That's what healthy is. So oftentimes, like, that's what it is. You're dropping yourself to pick up another person and you think you can have both, but this person is just a narcissist. Like, genuinely. You know what I mean? Why is this a vibe? This is a vibe. Okay, let's see. I was going to unsub. Bestie. You guys need to make sure to have my post notifications turned on as well, because sometimes YouTube be playing. But I appreciate you guys, and I always push out content. Let's see. How to leave a relationship when they're a good boyfriend to you, but they lower your motivation and are not working or ambitious. It's hard to let go. So, honestly, I'm glad you asked this question, because oftentimes the love we think we feel for someone is really just the desire to have them be someone else. So you say, you know, they're not hardworking, they're not ambitious. First of all, have a conversation with them. If they can't change those things, then that's just who they are. You need to accept people as they are and place them where they belong. You get what I mean? Like, you can't just expect someone to be a different version of you. And also, growing apart to someone is very, very real. You can validate the love you feel for this person and also wish that they change and become what you know you need. And so, at some point, it's about choosing yourself. And so, I think the best thing is to have a conversation with that person and just tell them everything you need. Just be like, hey, I need this, 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 and this in a relationship. And although maybe when we first started dating, I didn't need those things, I'm starting to realize that within a relationship, I don't want to feel like I have to push someone to want to do something and to want to be hardworking. And it's making me less attracted to you. Just say it straight up like that. If they're going to change and if they really do care about you, yeah, it's going to hurt you saying that. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. But would you rather, suppress your own needs, or would you rather straight up tell them how you feel and have something that can be done from it? If you're the girl for them, they will step up to the plate. If you're not, then you guys will break up. And I know I'm very cut and dry with that, but that's really how these things go. Like, it's okay to honor the love you have for someone while also realizing that maybe as you've grown, your needs have changed. Like, those things can coexist. Also, I think my phone is getting hot. No, it's not. It's fine. You know when your phone, like, all of a sudden it says it's on high brightness, but it's actually not, and so it just gets dark as hell for no reason? I hate how iPhones do that. Like, why the fuck? Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Is it okay to be socially isolated for a while and then socialize again? Of course it is. I think that's very normal, but I think there's a point where social isolation can become very, very, what's it called? It'll make you kind of reach a plateau. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much you can really learn from someone. Like, there's only so much you can really learn from yourself when you're alone. So sometimes you'll isolate because you're actually scared of moving forward, and you're scared of rejection, and you have this fear of moving forward and doing something better with your life. So make sure you're not getting to a place where social isolation is really a coping mechanism for your own fear of moving forward and learning new things. But I do think a good amount of social isolation is healthy. But again, like, don't do it to the point where it's like you kind of, I feel like there's a better word for it, but reach a plateau. You know what I mean? Like, you're not actually growing. You're just kind of stagnant. That's the word. You're stagnant. Don't make yourself stagnant. So if you realize that your social isolation is causing you to be stagnant and causing you to settle, then that's when you know you need to expand. Okay, let's see. Friend has this toxic friend, and I told her if you're giving her everything and she doesn't do the same, if she makes you miserable, she's not worth your energy. I think that there's also, you're right, but I also do think that there's a caveat to that, which is recognizing the expectation behind why you do the things you do. If you are recognizing that a friend is toxic, are you just calling that friend toxic because you overextended yourself and you're not seeing this person for how they are and you're kind of having this idea of them in your head? Or do you just have these heavy expectations that they cannot meet, and so you're calling them toxic because you had those expectations from the beginning and they weren't able to fulfill them? And this goes for relationships too. Is someone actually toxic, or have you just lost your own boundaries and just started to give and expect all of these things back that they were never capable of giving to you? Sometimes two things can be true at once. Number one, someone else's incapacity to love you or show up for you how they need doesn't have anything to do with your inherent worth. But simultaneously, you have to know that if you want to feel worthy, you have to accept people as they are and place them where they belong. Maybe this person isn't a super, super close friend, right? Like, maybe they aren't, Maybe they're just an acquaintance. Maybe they're just, you go out with this friend for drinks. You go out with this friend for whatever. You have different friends for different things. Forcing a certain level of connection with someone is only going to repel them from you. That's something I've learned. Like, you can't force a certain level of connection. If you guys click, you click. If you don't click, it's no big deal. You just got to move on. You just got to find something different. So checking your own expectation when going into any type of relationship, friendship, whatever, is also very necessary, because sometimes we can misread people and label them as toxic or narcissistic without actually seeing the underlying things that we're doing that are causing us to feel unloved and uncared for. It's all within as well. Because when you do meet narcissists and toxic people, you're going to learn how to handle yourself a lot better, because you're going to have those boundaries with it, and you're just going to be like, wow, that's crazy, and you're just going to leave. Like, you're not going to feel any like need to prove yourself and to be like, oh, well, they're toxic and they're not doing what I want them to do. Of course they're not. They don't have that level of awareness. You can't force that level of awareness within them. You get what I mean? You just got to be yourself and try to enter into most friendships or relationships without expectation. Of course, there's going to be expectation at some points in our lives, but being able to check that expectation and reflect back, like, okay, is this expectation valid for this person? Or, they do some shady stuff. Okay, just keep a mental note. Hey, I can't trust this person. You can even use them in your life too. Like, if you know that you can't trust this person, or this person is going to go tell everyone, you can tell certain things to that person so that they can go tell, like, my life is going great, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You just tell them good things, because they're going to tell anyone anyways. Or, like, just, like, I don't know. Like, people always ask me sometimes, like, what do I do when someone's lying on me? Just, like, look at that person and, like, like, that reputation is going to fall apart at some point or another. And so if someone comes to you saying, oh, wow, this person said blah, 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 blah about you, blah, 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 literally just be like, oh, really? Oh, that's crazy. When you're so unbothered, it makes whoever they got that information from, it makes that person question them, because you're so like, what? Oh my God. If you're like that, of course, the person is going to be like, oh, so that's true, because, like, you're freaking out over it. If you're unbothered, then nobody can say anything. And anyways, I just went on a rant. I need to, like, start responding to y'all's comments. I'm sorry, y'all. How to know if you're being love bombed or if the love is genuine? Girl, I feel like love bombing is one of the hardest things, because it makes total sense if someone meets me and they love me already. Like, love bombing be low key. I be falling for love bombing. Anyways, but yeah, like, I be falling for love bombing for real, because I feel like I don't know. Like, that's just where I'm at in life. But what I've learned about love bombing is, number one, they will say things way too fast. Way too fast. Like, if someone is saying I love you within, like, a week, 2 weeks, a month, like, red flag. Number two, they will start planning the future with you. So they'll start being like, oh, we're going here, we're going there. Number three, they blow up your phone. Honestly, I know I just said I think love bombing is kind of fun sometimes, but I actually haven't fell for love bombing in a hot minute, just because I feel like as soon as someone starts being so clingy towards me and starts using love bombing tactics, I get icked out, because I'm kind of avoidant. So as soon as someone starts being like, oh my God, blah, blah, like, I love you, like, I'm like, ugh, like, brother, ugh, like, what? What do you mean you love me? I mean, I love me too, and why wouldn't you love me? But at the same time, like, why? And then they tell me why they love me, and I'm like, oh wait, you're so right, I am great. No, just kidding. Sorry, I'm funny, y'all. But, like, just trust your gut. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes you do meet someone and there is a real connection, but things like that take time. You get what I mean? So if you feel like something is wrong, most likely it is. Like, that's the best advice I have for you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that person is, like, purposely doing it. I feel like people oftentimes are like, oh my God, love bombing, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're purposely, like, most people don't think, I'm gonna love bomb this person. Like, unless, actually, some guys do think like that. So just don't give up the kitty type shit. Don't give it up. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and even if you do, just have your boundaries. Like, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, you're going to learn a lesson from it, but make sure you have your boundaries. So, like, as long as you have your boundaries and as long as the person is proving their interest for you with action, then allow it to see what's going on. But I think the main thing about love bombing is like feeling like it's way too fast, way too quick. Slow it down. Take your time. The love feeling doesn't even last. Like, if you're actually in love with someone, think about people who've been married for like 30, 40 years. Do you think they wake up looking at someone with infatuation? No. I don't think you truly love someone, like love someone, until you've been through shit with them. That's just what I think. You know what I mean? Like, because how are we about to like be together 6 months and then you're like, I love you? No, you're just infatuated with me and I'm infatuated with you, and if this feels nice for now, but have we been through shit? No. We haven't been through anything. You know, I like going on dates, I like having fun, I like this dynamic, but don't take things too seriously, especially if you're young. Don't, I need to give you my all. No, you don't. Don't give your all to anyone. Give your all to yourself, first and foremost. Learn how to give your all to yourself, first and foremost. And if you can't do that, and if you can't make yourself a priority, then you're going to be falling victim to love bombing, because obviously you're going to be like, wow, I don't feel special. So when this person says I'm special, this makes me feel so like, wow, I really am special. When you know you're special, nothing anyone says to you, like, oh my God, you're so special, you're so this, you're so that. In your head, like, you'll say thank you, obviously. But, like, in your head, you're like, I already know this. Tell me something I don't know. Show me something I don't know. Like, when you have a certain level of self-respect and love for yourself, you're not falling for love bombing because, girl, I already know. I already know I'm great. What next? I'm kidding, but I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm really silly, but that's really how it is. Let's see. My parents had a disastrous, unstable relationship, and I feel like it's better not to be in a relationship. I know this is a terrible perspective as I'm entertaining this. So I don't think that's a terrible perspective. Maybe that's just because, like, bro, my family is chaotic. Let's just say that. So I don't think that's a terrible perspective to entertain in your 20s. Because at the end of the day, relationships are something that should be added to your life. A relationship shouldn't be like a must. If you feel like a relationship is a must for you, like I have to be in a relationship in order to be happy, you're doing it wrong. I think that having that mindset, like having the mindset that relationships are a little bit pointless, helps you, because when someone enters your life where you will want to be in a relationship with them, like when someone comes into your life that's relationship material, it'll make you question that, and it'll make you feel like, you know what? Okay, like I'll give this a go. But going through periods of times where you feel like, a relationship just isn't for me right now, that's okay. That's completely okay, and I think you should validate yourself through that process, but also realize, you know what? Maybe it's not the right time right now. Like, you can't just be like, oh, like, I'm never gonna do this. Sometimes it's just, maybe for the next couple of years, like, if you're 20, you have so much of your life ahead of you. Like, there's so much more to life than being in a romantic relationship, genuinely. Let's see. Your thoughts on the modeling industry falling into the adult industry? I think that that's been a thing for a hot minute, and I think that people just be making money. So I don't really have much of a thought on it because I'm not going to do none of that, but I think that most models who go into those type of things kind of know what they're doing, and they do sign up for it. Unless there's other situations in which they don't know what they're getting into, then that's another thing. But most people kind of already know when going into that type of work what they're getting into. So that's my opinion on it. I don't really have that much of an opinion on it because I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing that. Okay. Let's see. Why are friendships so fast-paced, and why is it difficult to find meaningful connections? So I've struggled with this a lot too. Like the difficulty finding meaningful connections and like having friendships be very fast. Question where you're meeting certain friends. If you meet friends in a bar or at a club, those friendships are going to be fast-paced and usually filled with drama because that's just typically what that type of environment entails. That doesn't mean anything about the girls in the club or, you know, different types of people or if they're genuine or... Obviously, there's going to be diamonds in the rough. But if you're going into a club, do you want to say that like 80% of the girls in there are usually very, very fake to their friends and they don't even know their friends like that? And they backstab their friends? Yeah. Because I don't think most people are very trustworthy. But that doesn't have anything to do with you and your character. When you have your own character and set of morals of what you should and shouldn't do, you see other people and their own nonsense, and you just let them do what they need to do. You accept people for how they are, and then you place them where they belong. So, when you want to ask how to find meaningful connections, go to places where you would find meaningful connections. Networking events, libraries, even coffee shops. Even some coffee shops, like people studying, colleges. Like I just went, you know, I know a lot of you guys watch my content, so you probably know like the self-development type stuff. I just went to a Leo Skepi event yesterday. That was actually so last minute because my sister got tickets and she wanted me to come with her. I was like, I love Leo Skepi. Like he's so real, but like so many of the people there, like go to events like that where people are so focused on self-development. Like go buy tickets to things like instead of spending all your money on a night out where you're literally not going to remember half the night and you're going to possibly risk getting robbed, having something bad happen to you. Like so many bad things can happen to you if you're just going out and partying every night. So stop going to those type of places. I mean, I'm not saying you are. I honestly don't know you. But you get what I mean. Like ask where you're meeting certain type of friends. And then building meaningful connections. Like, I know it's so hard to shoot your friendship shot. Shoot your friendship shot. But you get what I mean? Like, sometimes it's really hard. But what I will say is just start texting people and just be real about it. Like, be like, hey, I think you're really cool. Like, let's go grab coffee sometimes. Be understanding in the fact that, like, when you're an adult, everyone has their own lives. Everyone has what they are and are not doing. And when you find people who are down to be your friend and who are very genuine, make sure you check back in on them. Be like, hey, how are you? Like, even every couple months, if you fall out, like, hey, I miss you. It's okay to say, hey, I miss you. If that person doesn't respond, then, like, fuck them. But, like, if you genuinely miss someone and you feel like you vibed with them, send them a fucking, call them. Like, girl, where the have you been? Where have you been? Like, I don't know. That's just the type of person I am. But, like, yeah, setting is everything. Finding meaningful connections in an unmeaningful place is most of the time impossible. So, find something meaningful. Like, that doesn't mean, like, again, everyone who goes to the club, obviously there's good people that go to the club, there's bad people that go to the club. But if you're at the club all the time thinking that's where you need to make friends, you're asking for the type of friends that are not meaningful connections. Okay, let's see. How to get over the fear of never finding love and always being unlovable. I've been so scared of this, and I think it leads me to losing myself while loving someone else. So what you need to realize is that fear of yours is contributing to you feeling loveless and feeling unimportant because that's attracting you to shitty people. That's attracting you to shitty people. Like, obviously, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to attract someone who truly loves you? And also, on the other side of it, even if they do love you, it's not that person's responsibility to make you love yourself at the end of the day. And so that might be a very hard pill to swallow, but it's a necessary pill to swallow. So first of all, make sure you're not trying to find love. If you're still trying to find yourself, you shouldn't be trying to find love. Try to find that love for yourself first and foremost. Fill up your cup first. You cannot try to love yourself when the way you're trying to love yourself is by overextending yourself and people pleasing and being treated like shit because you don't have the values and standards that sustain someone who actually loves you. So, fearing that you're never going to find love, you already found love. If you have the capacity to fear that you're never going to be lovable, it's because you love yourself in some weird way, shape, or form. You just love the version of yourself that feels like you're unlovable. You're just attached to the version of yourself where you're unconfident, where you don't feel like you're doing anything, where you're invaluable. It takes a certain level of attachment, which attachment is love. It takes a certain level of attachment to the unhealthy version of yourself, the version of yourself where you don't feel valuable, the version of yourself where you don't feel lovable. You're attached to that version of yourself because it's worked for you in some way, shape, or form. So whatever trauma you've been through that has gotten you to that point, validate that. That process is valid, and I understand how you feel because it's hard. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's hard to not feel valuable yourself. But ask yourself what the next step is. Is it going to be continuing down this path even though you're unsatisfied with your attachment to your own feeling of inadequacy? Or can you flip that and say, okay, I was attached to the version of myself where I didn't love myself. I can be attached to the version of myself where I do love myself. You can. And realize it starts with small steps, right? It's not going to be like the next day you're going to wake up and, I love myself. No, it's not like that. Loving yourself is so much more than just a feeling. It's action, it's discipline, it's doing things for yourself where over and over and over again, you test that. You know, I might not have a relationship, might not have friends, I might not have, that much money right now. I might be down bad. But at the end of the day, who's gonna got you? Hello. English. Hello. Who is gonna get you if you don't get yourself? Who is going to look out for you if you don't look out for yourself? Nobody. I wonder if my neighbors are hearing some of this. Like, damn, she's speaking facts for real. Let's see. How can I get over a breakup? Okay. But it's so difficult, especially when you have romanticized love to the extent that I look for it everywhere. The reason you look for love everywhere is you're so resistant to looking for it within yourself. Love is everywhere, period. Love is everywhere. You're just thinking of the romantic version of love. You can seek out love in different ways than romantic version. You can seek out love in other ways than having a boyfriend or having a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, or having a whatever you guys have. You know what I mean? Like, you can seek out love in various ways because love is nature. Love is friendship. Love, girl, I sound like a My Little Pony episode. But you know what I mean though? Like, love is everywhere. There's so much connection in this world. You don't have to focus on romantic love in order to value yourself. In fact, I feel like it's unhealthy to only focus on romantic love as your own inherent value. And so when you focus on other types of love and connection in your life, the love of a pet, get a pet. If you can get a pet, and if you don't already have a pet, but you know what I mean? If you have a pet, like, that's the most purest love ever. Like, my cat is so, like, she loves me. Like, we fuck with each other. You know what I mean? But you get what I mean, though? Like, it's so important to just love yourself the way that you seek out love in other people. And when you stop thinking, oh, I need a romantic connection, it's a complete flip because you start realizing, like, there's so much more to life and there's so much more to love than the love of a romantic partner. Because oftentimes the love of a romantic partner isn't even enough. That's why people cheat. That's why people lie. That's why people do so many different things to get out of their marriages and relationships and do fucked up things to people. Most of the time, romantic love is not even love. It's just infatuation. So get rid of that. Start focusing on the pure love. Go volunteer at a homeless shelter. Go help people. That's love. You're so focused on, like, love in one specific way that you feel like you're empty of it. You're not empty of love. You're just empty of yourself. Fill up yourself first. Love yourself through loving other people in a platonic way. Okay, y'all. Sorry, I went on a rant. Please make a video on loving yourself. I do need to make a new video on that. I feel like I have made so many videos about loving yourself, but like, maybe I just need to make a whole new video, because I be having different like thoughts behind it. But like, love is so, yeah. Let's see. How can I get over a breakup with someone? I feel like I never find anyone. Like, I'm like a very unique person. I feel like I cannot live without them. So, first of all, take them off of the pedestal you have them on. You have them on a pedestal. You're placing them on this pedestal where you're like, they're so unique. Really? What, are they Beyonce? Are they Beyonce? Are they Beyonce? If you feel like you can't get over someone because they're unique, first of all, validate the feeling of the love you have for them. Because I think that it comes in processes. You know what I mean? Like, I think the advice of just, like, bypassing all of that and just going, like, they ain't shit. It's like you're lying to yourself, and you obviously know you're lying to yourself because they were important in your life at one point. So first off, validate the fact that they were important to you at one point in your life. It's okay to hold on to something and continue living your life. You don't need to let it go immediately. I think a lot of people don't understand that when going through breakups. You can hold on to something and keep going. It'll just get so hard to hold on to it that you need to let go of it. And you'll just go, Like, you don't need to just hold on to it forever. But if you still feel that way, it's okay to validate that feeling. It's okay to feel like, damn, this sucks. So, first of all, just admit, like, this fucking sucks. And that's okay that it sucks. And then go from there to say, okay, what are the ways in which I wasn't seeing this person clearly? First of all, you have them on a pedestal. You're thinking, oh my God, they're so unique. They're so this, they're so that. No. Think of the times that you didn't like what they were doing either. I think oftentimes, especially when someone breaks up with us, it feels like, oh my God, they broke up with me. It's like your ego comes in, they broke up with me. Like, you just get so caught up in, oh my God, they don't like me. You just get so caught up in the ego aspect of it that you forget to ask yourself, hold on, last week they were pissing me the fuck off. Like, last week they were pissing me off and I didn't like them neither. So what are we doing here? When someone breaks up with you, it just feels like a hit to your heart because it just feels like you would have stuck it out with them even though you were annoyed with them. So you had expectations that they didn't have, and just because they were the one that called it off, all of a sudden, all of the issues you had about them were somehow invalid because it just feels like it's your fault. You're taking way too much of the blame when it was also their fault too. They also didn't meet your needs too. And as soon as you started demanding more, and as soon as you started saying, hey, I don't like this, as soon as you started to demand what you truly want, then it became an issue and they ended up leaving you. But someone else's inability to see your value and beauty and just amazingness, like, literally, like, if someone else doesn't see that you're the shit, that doesn't mean that you're not the shit. That just means, like, they need to go get glasses. I feel like this stream is real. I need to stream more because this stream is real as... I need to stop cussing so much because I'm gonna get demonetized. But this stream is very real. This stream is very distinguished. Not even Beyonce deserves the pedestal. For real. Beyonce still got cheated on. How to deal with haters that you have classes with in school. It's hard to ignore things like that because it makes me seem scary, like they have said things about me and it's gotten to me. So, When someone says something to you and it makes you feel hurt, recognize that your ego is there. So it's not hurting you and who you really are, it's just hurting your ego and the image. Like, you have an image of yourself, and if they're saying something and trying to point out that image, you need to realize, like, the context behind it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people will hate on something because they don't even know the context. They don't even know what you've been through. They don't even know your life. They don't even know you. So first of all, you don't even know me. Like, if someone's hating, you don't even know me. Your opinion is irrelevant. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know anything about me. And here you are hating. I feel sad for you. Like, when you realize that a lot of the time people hate on people because they're so sad with themselves and they got to push other people down to make themselves feel better, it really makes you have a sense of empathy for them at some point. But that comes later. But first of all, just feel like, girl, you don't know me. And if they're trying you, then do what you got to do. That's what I feel. Do what you have to do if they're trying to entice you. And, if you got to speak up for yourself, speak up for yourself. But don't let someone, mess around with you and play with your emotions when they don't even know the context of anything. They don't even know you like that. So place their opinion where it belongs. Like, include your opinion into the equation. Like, that's so great that you feel all of these various weird things about me. Like, that's crazy that you think that. But I feel like I'm a good person, so, value your opinion more. Okay. I'm gonna end it when it gets to an hour, because I feel like an hour is like an appropriate amount of time. I really, really enjoyed this live stream. Like, I feel like this was like one of them good ones. I don't know. I also got to go to a brunch with my friends, so that's going to be fun. And then I have to record a podcast today, so I'm very, very excited. Okay. I find that I get too attached to my romantic interests. I got a partner now, but I can't help but think about how the relationship will end. Okay. First of all, don't worry about none of that. Like, I know it's hard to, okay, how will the relationship end and whatever. I think bring yourself back to the present moment, because I think when you've been through loss, sometimes you can always only think about, when will I experience loss again? But that only allows that. It's like when you're at an amusement park, right? And you're having a fun time, and then all of a sudden you're like, damn, I gotta go home in 2 hours. And so you just sit on the bench and just think about how you gotta go home in another 2 hours. That doesn't make any sense. Enjoy your time. Don't think too much about the future and the past and all of that. I know it's hard to, but at the same time, just think about that in amusement park analogy. Are you going to worry so much about when you have to end up heading home from the amusement park and you're going to, not go on the rides you need to go on? Or are you going to make the most of it? Make the most of it. Have fun with this person. And when that person is ready to leave your life, or you're ready to leave their life, or, something happens, or maybe you guys don't leave your life. Maybe you're like, damn, this is my person. But if you intuitively know, this isn't necessarily the person I want to spend my life with, it's okay to spend a short amount of time with someone. It's okay to be like, you know what, this person is going to be good for a certain amount of time. Let's go. We have a 3-month contract. No. We have a 3-month contract of exclusivity, and then after that point, one of us is gonna mess around. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. But that's really how it goes nowadays. It's I feel like everyone wants security nowadays. Everyone's just first date, it's have you cheated on anyone? Have you done this? What are you doing in 5 years? What? It's I'm just here for dinner. I'm just here to eat and have fun. Just think of it like that, Don't think about, what's gonna happen? When it happens, it happens. Enjoy, if you enjoy this person, just enjoy the time you have with them. Don't think too deep into it, because that just ruins the moment, and it takes you out of the present, and it makes you almost, I don't know, you could ruin something that's actually good. You know what I mean? I love you guys. It's just always so fun to come on here and talk. I like live streams more because you guys get to see more of my personality. Because in my videos, I'm always so serious. Like, I need to start doing more in my videos where I'm, like, silly. But sometimes it's, like, I feel like I need to just do more live streams so that when you guys come in, you guys know what it is, you know? What are you drinking? This is kombucha. I'm on my healthy shit, you know? Honestly, kombucha's been clearing my skin. Like, I feel like my skin is a lot more clear. Like, look. Doesn't it look good? Live stream gives you the energy. I also think it's the vibes, too. Like, the sunglasses, the tree, I don't know. Are you from Sacramento? I am from Sacramento. I feel like people be sleeping on Sacramento. Like, I don't know. I love Sacramento, but I am from Sacramento, so. Which reminds me, I'm going to be doing like for anyone who's in California, Bay Area, that type of area, I'm going to be doing a catwalk in the Bay Area in the summer. I believe it's like in July. So I'm going to be showing you guys, like, if you guys want to come out and support me, that'd be wonderful. Like, I'm going to be doing my first ever catwalk. And so that's going to be a really exciting thing because I've never done nothing like that before. So if you're like in the area and you just want to come out and you're like, hey, I like your videos, like literally come out. Like I love when you guys come up to me. Like, I've only had this happen a couple of times, but whenever people have came up to me and, you know, been like, oh my God, I know you from YouTube. It's just like made my entire day because it's just cool that I impact real people. You know what I mean? Let's see. All right. I'm trying to like, would you ever do a meetup? I would do a meetup, so. But yeah, I'm going to answer one more question and then I'm going to get off stream because I got to go to brunch. But this is a really nice live stream. I really enjoyed this. Okay. When people recognize me in public as me, facts, like, I don't know. It's just so, like, it's different because I feel like influencers, it's like, I'm never going to be someone who's like, oh my God, like, no pictures. Like, what? I don't know. I feel like influencers, it's like, I've seen some influencers in public and I've like pointed them out and been like, holy shit, like you're that guy from YouTube, you're that guy from TikTok. And it's like every single time I've met like an influencer or whatever, they've always been so cool. And it's like, I feel like it's different because it's like real people. You know what I mean? If you see me, just say hi to me and be like, I know this is weird, but I watch your YouTube videos. And I'm going to be like, girl, let's take a photo. Like literally I will like follow you on Instagram and like we could like be friends. Genuinely. Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel because obviously you're attracted to my content for a reason and you're probably cool as fuck. So, you know? End it with a lesson to love yourself. So, I think the best way to love yourself is really accept the parts of you that you don't necessarily like looking at. Self-acceptance is so much more than just, oh my God, I love myself. Because loving yourself and saying you love yourself is one thing, but showing yourself self-acceptance and being able to acknowledge the parts of you that aren't perfect and do still need to be worked on, like, you are not a project that needs to be fixed. So I think the biggest thing is self-acceptance. Like, being able to look at yourself for everything you are and just going, you know what? I might have some issues, but goddamn, I'm fine. Goddamn, like, look at how you've come over, look at how you have overcome. Sorry guys, sometimes I say things wrong and it just completely throws me off, but look at how you've overcome the things in your life that have been horrible and difficult and just all of the things that you've done. You are so resilient, you are so powerful, and you will get through this too. And the moments that you don't feel like you love yourself is the moments that you need to accept yourself the most, and just keep it real with yourself. Like, if you're not authentic to yourself, you can't be authentic to anyone. So as soon as you start to accept yourself and see yourself for the parts of you that you don't necessarily like looking at, I feel like that's the greatest form of self-love. So with that being said, you guys, I love you and I need to get going, but this was a really good live stream. I feel like this is one of my favorite live streams because I did what I needed to do. But all right, I love you guys. If you're coming to the live stream late, just watch the video because it's actually a really, really important video. So I really appreciate you. But much love, you guys. Bye. Oh my God, how do I end? That was a goofy ass laugh.